Hey everyone, I'm Amanda Dahlberg, Demand Generation Manager here at Pacvue. I'm joined today with Blake Kidd, Director of Search and Marketplace at Rise Interactive, a full service digital marketing agency and proud Pacvue partner. Today we'll be discussing how brands and sellers could better prepare for Q4 and the upcoming holiday season and really plan to ensure year-round omnichannel success. Blake, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Well, thank you, Amanda. So I'm Blake Kidd. I'm the director of marketplaces and search at Rise. So that means I'm responsible for all of the innovation that we do on the search and marketplaces side. Been with Rise for about 5 years. So in that time, I've seen a couple holiday periods and Prime Day periods. So really excited to talk about kind of our opportunities that we see to crush it this year.
Yeah, so brands are pretty laser focused on one thing right now, and that's holiday. Considering Q4 is starting officially, almost now. After the significant increase in digital sales in 2020, we're all expecting an impactful and hopefully profitable 2021 holiday season. But cutting to the chase, what's the first piece of advice you'd give to anxious marketers?
Well, the first piece of advice I'd give is that I hope that you're not anxious. I would hope that you don't have to kind of walk into Black Friday with feeling a sense of anxiety. I've always told my team for years that Black Friday should be, kind of one of your easier days of work. It does not have to be something that is stressful, and that's because really the success that you're going to, see in holidays driven by a good research phase and a good preparation phase. So making sure that you're gathering as much of historical data as possible to inform your strategy, then setting up a framework that grants you kind of the agility to execute on that. And then you can walk into Black Friday, feeling confident that, all you have to do is show up and watch the sales roll in.
It's great advice. So I'm hearing two big action items from that: gathering historical performance data and setting up an agile framework. I want to ask you a bit more about those from a retail media perspective. What kind of historical marketplace data would you recommend brand marketers study, and what insights should they be looking for?
Yeah, so that's a great question. What I think that people should look for are the metrics that clue them into how your audiences are going to be inclined to make decisions throughout the holiday season. We know sales are going to be up this year. We're all really excited about the volume that we're going to see. So it's about discovering your brand's role in that purchasing decision over time. So thinking about metrics like impression share, click-through rate, conversion rate, those are going to help you answer kind of the big questions you need to be asking about your holiday strategy. So, thinking about questions like, at what points should you kind of expect to refresh your creative assets throughout the season to keep your key shoppers engaged? Or, what competitors should you expect to be conquesting throughout the season? And kind of what efforts you should expect from them. Thinking about your highest value audiences, how influenceable are they with a top of funnel DSP ad? Those sorts of the questions, are things I think are really important to map your strategy around. I think it's really important to think about some of this information. A lot of advertisers will go after on a keyword level or on a product level. And I'm more actually interested in this kind of data at a day and week and maybe even hour of day level. So that is to say, a lot of advertisers, I think, spend a lot of time thinking about what should I spend on? Like, what keywords should I spend on? Whereas I'm much more interested in thinking about when should I spend. It's not that the what is not important, but for me, the really big keys to holiday success are planning out the whens of how you're going to attack your strategy.
I completely agree. Can you share how Rise has acted on its information during peak demand in the past?
Yeah, I have a good example actually from this year's Prime Day, which happened, back in June. As you know, Prime Day is going to be a 2-day event, typically a Monday and a Tuesday. And what we had seen was that there's a really strong trend in a customer's path to purchase this year, and actually in past years as well, where especially on day one, we saw a lot of great click-through rate and great, ad engagement data. People were really, browsing inventory. They were kind of scouting their best deals. They were kind of planning what their line of attack would be for all the things that they wanted to buy. But on day two, that's when we saw the big jump in conversion rate. So basically all the people that were shopping on day one, they were kind of planning, they were researching, and then they actually pulled the trigger on day two. Some of them might have been waiting to see if better deals were going to come up or stuff like that. But day two was the money day. And so what we were able to do there is say, okay, on day one, our spend is going to be focused on those influencing kind of research phase tactics. So we were really doing a lot of competitive conquesting. We were really owning our branded search terms. Whereas on day two, we shifted our investment to be more conversion oriented. So we were doing a lot of remarketing. We were doing a lot of, long tail non-branded. So that was a big kind of shift in our strategy, again, focused on the when being the most important thing. And overall, we were able to drive great results. Our Prime Day as an agency portfolio, our Prime Day return on ad spend was up by about 50% year over year for about the same amount of spend. So that's something that we were really proud of.
Wow, it's very interesting and awesome results. I'd love to hear more about creating an agile framework too. Where does that idea come from?
Yeah, so the retail media space is really expanding very quickly. And something you can probably relate to professionally as well as, just being a consumer, is that the holiday season is taking on a really big new meaning this year, and in kind of recent years. 10 years ago, Black Friday was on Friday morning, and that was it. And we didn't even have Prime Day. It was the big day of the year. Now, that kind of paradigm is shifting. Major retailers are expanding their timelines and kind of claiming their own little holidays. So, you think about last year, Target and Best Buy, their Black Friday sales started weeks earlier than Black Friday, and they were calling them, "Hey, this is our Black Friday sales. It's just gonna start in early November." Some advertisers are starting in as early as October. So as a result, marketers today, basically you need to have your brand's holiday plan set by September, and that timeline is moving up every year. So, what I think about is from here on out, it might always feel like we're planning for a holiday. So I call back to the piece on anxiety. I don't want folks to be anxious going into the holiday period, because I think over the next few years, as time goes on, that holiday paradigm is going to spread across the entire year. So basically, you need to have that framework in place, that tech-enabled agility in place to constantly be planning for more and more, holiday performance spread throughout the year.
We can definitely relate to a lot of those holiday deadlines here at Pacvue, the never-ending Prime Day and holiday season. But can you tell me a little bit more what that looks like in practice?
Sure. So, I think about cross-channel real-time access to performance data. So making sure that you are seeing your data across all the marketplaces that you're selling and advertising on, being able to both zoom all the way in and see, what product or what category is driving sales right now, or, in the same minute of your day, zooming all the way out and getting a wrapped up look at, your total business KPIs across all of your marketplaces combined. That's the level of granularity and cross marketplace performance that, maybe feel a little far-fetched or a little dreamy, but that's a present day reality with Rise and Pacvue. So that's, I think, the framework that is really powerful and necessary, going into this new kind of paradigm we're entering in. And it also calls back, I think, the first piece of advice I gave today, which was the need for historical data. If your historical data consists of 20 disparate sources that you have to manually reference and stitch together by yourself, that's just not going to be worth very much. So putting a solution in place today, to do an omnichannel kind of data governance solution, is not just going to help you crush 2021 holiday, it's going to help you plan for next year's holiday as well. And so that's why, I think there's no time like the present to get on, kind of executing a solution like that.
Definitely. So what can brand marketers do now to set up this agile framework?
Well, the most important thing is going to be looking for business partners with an omnichannel, tech-enabled approach to media management. Pacvue in particular, it is an excellent solution. Great visibility, optimization, across dozens of marketplaces. That's going to be, more and more indispensable as time moves on and more marketplaces open up. In the future, right now, the kind of paradigm is that there might be a handful of marketplaces. 5 years from now, we might have legitimately 20 marketplaces that you have to pay attention to. You won't have, frankly, the hours in your day or the marketers on your team to really handle that as a walled garden. There's going to have to be, a cross-platform solution in place like Pacvue. And then also, at Rise, we're really fortunate to partner with you guys at Pacvue and also leverage our own proprietary technology we call Connects. So Connects integrates with Pacvue to get all of the cross-channel marketplaces stuff that you guys provide. But we also extend that to also integrate with Google, Facebook, the Trade Desk. So basically, we're able to take that premise of cross-channel, high leverage optimization type technology and extend it not just to marketplaces, but also search, social, programmatic, and everything else as well.
All right, so thanks so much for chatting with me, Blake. Your perspective on the rapid growth of retail media and need for a tech-enabled solution is absolutely one that resonates here at Pacvue, as well as the need to get started and optimize, now in Q4. So,
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks for having me.
All right, bye-bye.